Hi, my name is Donna with the Pioneer Library System. I'm going to talk to you today about the humble ingredient of ramen. I'm going to give you a little bit of the background. I'll share with you the traditional elements involved in making ramen. I'm going to prepare a delicious recipe, and then finally I'll share some library resources so you too can make your own bowl of ramen. So a little bit about the history. People usually think that ramen comes from Japan. It actually was created in China and didn't go to Japan until around the turn of the century. It's been street food, it's been fine dining, and everywhere in between. The ramen that we know was developed in Japan in 1958. There's usually 4 parts involved in making a good bowl of ramen: your stock, your tare, your noodles, and your toppings. So all bowls start with a good stock. It's usually pork, chicken, vegetables. The plus side of making your own is you're going to be able to develop a rich, deep flavor. The downside is it takes some time. So in a pinch, substitute a pre-made box of stock if you need to. The tare, or flavorings, transform simple stock into a delicious bowl of noodles. Home cooks can make their own profile to suit their tastes. Balance is usually between a sweet, spicy, salty, and sour. And then finally, happy with the 20-cent block of noodles, but if you have a refined palate, there's over 100 different types of ramen noodles. They're usually a wheat noodle with an alkaline ingredient such as baking soda. This baking soda element will add the characteristic chewy texture and yellow color to your noodles. The final thing will be your toppings. Usually you're going to use a protein and a vegetable to make a complete meal. All right, so what I'm going to make for you today is a recipe from this book, Ramen, 50 Classic Ramen and Asian Noodle Soups by Heather Whitney, and you can find this at the Norman Library. So I'm making a marinated tofu and egg ramen. And for the stock, I'm going to start with is I actually pre-made my stock yesterday at home. I used chopped veggies and other vegetable scraps, fresh ginger and garlic, and some nori, which is a seaweed sheet. What's really a cool thing about making a vegetable stock is if throughout the week you have some carrot ends or some celery ends or any of those kind of things, you can save them and throw all that stuff into your stock pot. So what I did was go ahead and rinse all my veggies. I put them in a stock pot, covered them with water, and let them simmer for several hours. The longer you let it simmer, the richer of a broth you're going to come up with. Then I strained it, and you can refrigerate it for up to 5 days or freeze it at that point. So the tare, or the flavors I used, is going to be a soy, mirin, rice vinegar, and chopped up ginger root. So you're going to want to add this to your stock at least about 10 minutes before you're ready to serve, because it's going to add that flavor into your pre-made stock that you've already got going. So I'll just do that right here. We'll give that a little stir. It smells pretty good now. And I'll put that lid back on. All righty. So let that go for about 10 minutes. Now the other thing is the recipe, of course, called for fresh noodles. I'm just going to use the dried ones. It said you could substitute, but always, 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 please throw this away. The little seasoning packet, it's really just a salt bomb, and you could do so much better than this. So we're going to boil this in water. And you don't want to boil this in your stock because it's going to make your stock cloudy because the starch is released from the noodles. So I'm going to do that in just a minute. And now I want to talk to you about my toppings. For this recipe, we have a couple different toppings. We have some nori, which is, once again, the seaweed sheets, and I just chopped that up. We have some chopped scallions. I have a 3-minute soft-boiled egg, and that egg was marinated in soy sauce, sake, sugar, and mirin, and that was overnight. And then the final thing is going to be some sesame seeds. And I shouldn't say the final thing that's prepared. The final thing is actually our tofu. And so for the tofu, I'm going to go ahead and mix in a little bit of a quick toss marinade. And with that, we have some soy, honey, mirin, and then I'm going to put some salt and pepper in it. I'll probably give it a little salt and pepper right now, but what we're going to do with this in just a second is get a saute pan out, and I am going to use that with some sesame oil and saute it up until it's a nice golden brown to top off our ramen noodles. All right, well, welcome back. As you can see, the tofu is getting nice and brown. We're just about ready to get this bowl of ramen put together, but I need to cook the noodles. So my water is boiling, and it's going to take about 3 minutes to cook. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. Give them a little stir, get them going, and then check back in a few minutes with me. All right, welcome back. We're about ready to assemble that perfect bowl of ramen. So what we're going to do is I've cooked our dry ramen for about 3 minutes. I'm going to just take that over, put it straight into my bowl, maybe another little scoop. I'm going to take some of my stock from yesterday that I just added my flavorings to. I'm going to go ahead and ladle some of that in. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my toppings. I'll put in a little bit of my tofu that had browned up nicely in the sesame seed oil. I'll grab a couple of our eggs here. Put that in here nicely. And then garnish with my green onions, a little bit of my torn seaweed here, or nori, a little of that. And then finally, I'm just going to put in a little bit of our black sesame seeds. So there you have it, the perfect bowl of ramen and mashagare. All right, now we've made this delicious bowl of ramen for you. And like I promised, I'm going to share some of the library resources that are available. We have print cookbooks that either highlight ramen or Japanese cooking or Asian cooking. We have digital tiles available on Hoopla and Overdrive. If you come into the Norman Central branch, we're going to have these little bags to give away, which have a list of cookbooks available. Also some printed out recipes from Flipster, which is our digital magazines. And your own block of ramen and some chopsticks. So I hope you enjoy and you have a good day, and let's get some librarians in here to try this.
That is way better than the package mix. That's fantastic.
It's good.
That's really good. I like just all of it comes together really well.
Yeah, pretty good. Do you get to pretend like it's healthy even though it's got ramen in it?
So in closing, I suggest you use your noodle to prepare your own tasty bowl of ramen. If you enjoyed this video, please share and like below.